Welcome to Coconut, your go-to channel for deep dives into the most gripping and eye-opening topics. Today, we're taking you on a wild ride through the mean streets of America, uncovering the top 10 states with the most notorious and dangerous gangs. From the sun-soaked avenues of California to the bustling boroughs of New York, these states are hotspots for some of the most intense gang activity in the nation. Whether you're fascinated by the intricate web of organized crime or just curious about the underbelly of urban life, this countdown promises to be both thrilling and educational. We're talking about the real deal gangs that have left their mark on communities and shaped the criminal landscape of the USA. So strap in, hit that subscribe button, and prepare for a jaw-dropping tour through America's most gang-plagued states. Number 10, California. Starting off our countdown at number 10 is none other than California. While it's famous for its sun-kissed beaches, Hollywood glamour, and tech innovation, there's a darker side to the Golden State that can't be ignored. California, particularly the sprawling metropolis of Los Angeles, has long been a battleground for some of the most notorious gangs in the United States. In the urban maze of Los Angeles, the Crips and Bloods are two of the most infamous gangs that have carved out territories and established their presence. These gangs emerged in the 1960s and 1970s and have since become synonymous with the city's gang culture. The Crips, identifiable by their blue attire, and the Bloods, known for their red, have engaged in brutal turf wars that have left a lasting impact on the community. But it doesn't stop there. California is also home to the notoriously violent MS-13, or Mara Salvatrucha, originating in Los Angeles in the 1980s among Salvadoran immigrants. MS-13 has grown into a transnational gang involved in drug trafficking, human smuggling, and a slew of violent crimes. Their presence is not just limited to Los Angeles. They have expanded their reach across the state and beyond. Beyond these major players, California's gang landscape is dotted with a myriad of other gangs, each with its own territory and criminal enterprises. From the Norteños and Sureños, who battle for dominance in Northern and Southern California, to various Asian, African American, and Latino gangs, the state's gang problem is complex and multifaceted. The impact of gang activity in California is profound. Communities are often caught in the crossfire of violent confrontations, and the influence of gangs extends into schools, prisons, and neighborhoods. Law enforcement agencies have their hands full, implementing various strategies to combat gang violence, from specialized gang units to community outreach programs aimed at prevention and rehabilitation. Number 9. New York. Coming in at number 9 on our list is New York, a state that's synonymous with hustle, bustle, and the American dream. But beneath the towering skyscrapers and bright lights of the Big Apple lies a complex and dangerous underworld. New York has long been a hotspot for gang activity, from the organized crime families of the early 20th century to the street gangs that dominate certain neighborhoods today. New York City, with its dense population and vast economic disparities, has been a breeding ground for gangs. One of the most notorious gangs in New York is the Latin Kings. Originating in Chicago, the Latin Kings have a strong presence in New York, engaging in drug trafficking, violent crimes, and extortion. Their influence extends into prisons, where they continue to recruit and control operations. Another prominent gang is the Bloods, a nationwide gang with significant numbers in New York City. Known for their rivalry with the Crips, the Bloods are involved in a range of criminal activities, including drug distribution, robbery, and assaults. Their distinctive red attire and hand signs are a familiar sight in certain parts of the city. Speaking of the Crips, they too have a notable presence in New York. Originating in Los Angeles, the Crips have spread across the country, including into the Empire State. They are involved in similar criminal activities as their rivals, the Bloods, contributing to the cycle of violence and crime. New York's gang landscape is not just limited to these well-known groups. The city also has a significant presence of Asian gangs, such as the Flying Dragons and the Ghost Shadows, particularly in Chinatown and other Asian communities. These gangs are involved in extortion, human trafficking, and drug trade, often operating under the radar. The city's historic mafia families, the Gambino, Genovese, Lucchese, Bonono, and Colombo families also continue to wield influence, though their power has waned over the years. These organized crime families are involved in traditional mafia activities such as racketeering, loan sharking, and money laundering, maintaining a grip on certain sectors of the city's economy. Despite the efforts, the draw of gang life continues for many, fueled by poverty, lack of opportunities, and the allure of fast money and perceived power. New York's struggle with gangs is a complex challenge, deeply intertwined with the city's history and social fabric. Number 8. Illinois. At number 8 on our list is Illinois, a state rich in history and culture, but also notorious for its rampant gang violence. The city of Chicago has earned an infamous reputation as a hotbed for gang activity, making it a critical focus in our countdown. Chicago, known as the Windy City, is home to some of the most well-known and dangerous gangs in the United States. The streets of Chicago have long been dominated by violent gang conflicts, with the Gangster Disciples and the Vice Lords being two of the most prominent groups. The Gangster Disciples, one of the largest gangs in the city, are heavily involved in drug trafficking, extortion, and violent crimes. Their influence extends far beyond the streets, reaching into prisons and even schools. On the other side, we have the Vice Lords, another formidable gang with deep roots in Chicago. Founded in the 1950s, the Vice Lords have evolved into a sophisticated criminal organization involved in drug dealing, robbery, and other illegal activities. The rivalry between the Gangster Disciples and the Vice Lords has led to countless violent clashes, contributing significantly to the city's high crime rates. Chicago's gang landscape is not limited to these two groups. The Latin Kings, another powerful gang, also have a significant presence in the city, originating from the Hispanic communities. The Latin Kings are involved in a variety of criminal enterprises, including drug trafficking, violent assaults, and racketeering. Their structured hierarchy and code of conduct make them one of the most organized gangs in the city. The impact of gang activity in Illinois, especially in Chicago, is profound. Communities are often caught in the crossfire of gang disputes, leading to tragic losses and a pervasive sense of fear. The city's homicide rate is one of the highest in the nation, with a significant portion of these crimes being gang-related. Number 7. Texas. Number 7 on our list takes us to the vast and diverse state of Texas. Known for its rich cultural heritage, booming cities, and iconic cowboy image, Texas also harbors a darker side with a significant gang problem that plagues many of its urban areas. Texas is home to some of the most notorious gangs in the country. One of the most prominent is the Texas Syndicate, a prison gang that originated in the 1970s. The Texas Syndicate is heavily involved in drug trafficking, extortion, and violent crimes, both within the prison system and on the streets. Another formidable gang is Barrio Azteca, also known as Los Aztecas. This gang has a strong presence along the Texas-Mexico border and is deeply involved in the drug trade, human trafficking, and violent criminal activities. Their operations often extend into Mexico, making them a significant player in cross-border crime. Another formidable gang is Barrio Azteca, also known as Los Aztecas. This gang has a strong presence along the Texas-Mexico border and is deeply involved in the drug trade, human trafficking, and violent criminal activities. Their operations often extend into Mexico, making them a significant player in cross-border crime. Tango Blast, a relatively newer gang, has quickly become one of the largest and most influential in Texas. Known for its less structured hierarchy compared to other gangs, Tango Blast members are identified by their city-based affiliations and tattoos. They are involved in a variety of criminal activities, including drug distribution, theft, and violent crimes. Texas is also home to the infamous MS-13, or Mara Salvatrucha, which has a strong presence in several Texan cities. Known for their extreme violence and ruthlessness, MS-13 members are involved in drug trafficking, human smuggling, and numerous violent crimes. Their activities have drawn significant attention from law enforcement at both state and federal levels. Number 6. Florida. At number 6 on our list, we head to the Sunshine State, Florida. Known for its beautiful beaches, vibrant nightlife, and diverse culture, Florida also struggles with a significant gang problem that lurks beneath its sunny exterior. Florida's gang landscape is as varied as its population, with major cities like Miami, Tampa, and Orlando serving as hubs for gang activity. One of the most notorious gangs in Florida is the Latin Kings, originally formed in Chicago. The Latin Kings have established a strong presence in Florida, particularly in Miami. They are involved in drug trafficking, extortion, and violent crimes, maintaining a strict code of conduct and a hierarchical structure. Another prominent gang is the Sur-13, or Sureños, which operates throughout Florida. The Sureños have strong ties to Mexican drug cartels and are heavily involved in drug distribution, human trafficking, and violent confrontations with rival gangs. Their influence extends into prisons, where they continue to recruit and control operations. Florida's gang problem is not limited to these groups. The state also has a considerable presence of Haitian gangs, such as Zoe Pound. Especially in Miami, Zoe Pound is involved in drug trafficking, robbery, and other violent crimes, often operating with a level of brutality that has earned them a fearsome reputation. Number 5. New Jersey. At number 5, we move to New Jersey, known as the Garden State. While it might be famous for its beautiful beaches, bustling cities, and iconic boardwalks, New Jersey also faces a serious gang problem that impacts many of its urban areas. New Jersey's proximity to major cities like New York and Philadelphia makes it a strategic location for gang activity. One of the most notorious gangs in New Jersey is the Bloods. The Bloods have a strong presence in cities like Newark, Trenton, and Camden, where they are involved in drug trafficking, robbery, and violent crimes. Their intense rivalry with the Crips often leads to violent confrontations and has a significant impact on the local communities. Another prominent gang in New Jersey is the Latin Kings. Known for their structured hierarchy and strict code of conduct, the Latin Kings are heavily involved in drug trafficking, extortion, and violent crimes. They have a significant influence in several cities across the state, often clashing with other gangs over territory and control of the drug trade. New Jersey also has a notable presence of the MHS-13, or Mara Salvatrucha. This gang is infamous for its extreme violence and ruthless tactics. Involved in drug trafficking, human smuggling, and numerous violent crimes, MHS-13 has established a fearsome reputation that stretches across several communities in New Jersey. Additionally, smaller local gangs and ethnic-based gangs also contribute to the state's gang landscape. From Asian gangs in the urban areas to various smaller Hispanic and African American gangs, New Jersey's gang problem is diverse and complex. Number 4. Michigan. Number 4 on our list brings us to Michigan, a state known for its automotive industry, stunning lakes, and vibrant cultural heritage. However, Michigan also grapples with a significant gang problem, particularly in its largest city, Detroit. Detroit, once a symbol of American industrial power, has faced economic decline and social challenges that have created fertile ground for gang activity. One of the most notorious gangs in Michigan is the Vice Lords. Originating from Chicago, the Vice Lords have established a strong presence in Detroit, engaging in drug trafficking, violent crimes, and extortion. Another major gang in Michigan is the Black Mafia family, BMF. While BMF started as a drug trafficking organization in Detroit, it expanded into a nationwide operation. Known for its involvement in large-scale drug distribution, BMF has also been linked to money laundering and violent crimes. The Latin Counts, primarily based in southwest Detroit, are another significant gang in Michigan. This Hispanic gang is involved in various criminal activities, including drug trafficking, robbery, and violent assaults. Their rivalry with other gangs often leads to violent confrontations that impact local communities. In addition to these major gangs, Michigan has numerous smaller gangs and local cliques that contribute to the overall gang landscape. The proliferation of firearms, economic disparities, and social issues exacerbate the gang problem, making certain neighborhoods particularly dangerous. Number 3. Pennsylvania. At number 3, we visit Pennsylvania, the Keystone State, known for its pivotal role in American history, vibrant cities, and beautiful landscapes. Pennsylvania also faces a significant gang problem that affects many of its communities. Pennsylvania's major cities, including Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, are hotbeds for gang activity. In Philadelphia, one of the most notorious gangs is the Bloods. This gang is heavily involved in drug trafficking, robbery, and violent crimes. The Bloods have a well-established presence in the city's urban neighborhoods, where they engage in fierce territorial disputes with rival gangs. Another significant gang in Pennsylvania is the Latin Kings. Known for their structured hierarchy and strict code of conduct, the Latin Kings operate in several cities, including Philadelphia and Allentown. They are involved in various criminal activities, such as drug trafficking, extortion, and violent assaults. Philadelphia also has a notable presence of the Crips, who often clash with the Bloods over control of drug markets and territory. The Crips are engaged in similar criminal activities, including drug distribution, theft, and violent crimes, contributing to the city's high crime rates. The Junior Black Mafia, JBM, is another infamous gang based in Philadelphia. Formed in the 1980s, the JBM has a history of drug trafficking and violent crimes. Their operations have significantly impacted the city's drug trade and overall crime landscape. In Pittsburgh, the local gang scene is dominated by various smaller gangs and cliques. While not as prominent as the gangs in Philadelphia, these groups still contribute to the state's overall gang problem, engaging in drug trafficking, violent crimes, and territorial disputes. Number 2, Nevada. Number 2 on our list takes us to Nevada, the Silver State, renowned for its dazzling entertainment, desert landscapes, and booming tourism industry. However, beneath the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas lies a darker reality, a significant gang problem that plagues the state. Nevada's largest city, Las Vegas, is a focal point for gang activity. One of the most notorious gangs in Las Vegas is the 18th Street Gang. Originally from Los Angeles, the 18th Street Gang has expanded its operations into Nevada, where it engages in drug trafficking, extortion, and violent crimes. Their presence in Las Vegas contributes to the city's crime rates and poses challenges for law enforcement. Another prominent gang in Nevada is the Mara Salvatrucha, or MS-13, known for their extreme violence and transnational operations. MS-13 has established a foothold in cities like Las Vegas and Reno. They are involved in drug trafficking, human smuggling, and other illicit activities, often operating with brutality that instills fear in local communities. The Chirinos, a collection of Southern California-based gangs, also have a notable presence in Nevada. Affiliated groups like the 13th Street Gang and Florencia 13 engage in drug distribution, robbery, and violent confrontations with rival gangs. Their operations in cities like Las Vegas contribute to gang-related violence and organized crime. Nevada is also home to local gangs and cliques that contribute to the state's overall gang landscape. These smaller groups often operate within specific neighborhoods or ethnic communities, engaging in various criminal activities and contributing to localized crime issues. Number 1, Missouri. At number 1 on our list, we turn to Missouri, the Show Me State, known for its iconic Gateway Arch, rich history, and Midwestern charm. However, beneath its picturesque facade, Missouri faces a serious and pervasive gang problem that affects many of its urban areas. St. Louis, one of Missouri's largest cities, grapples with significant gang activity. One of the most prominent gangs in St. Louis is the Gangster Disciples. Originating in Chicago, the Gangster Disciples have expanded their influence into Missouri, where they are involved in drug trafficking, violent crimes, and maintaining control over specific neighborhoods. Another major player in Missouri's gang landscape is the Bloods. This nationally recognized gang operates in cities like St. Louis and Kansas City, engaging in drug distribution, robbery, and acts of violence. The Bloods' presence contributes to the state's high crime rates and challenges for law enforcement. The Crips also have a significant presence in Missouri, particularly in urban centers like St. Louis and Kansas City. Known for their rivalry with the Bloods, the Crips are involved in similar criminal activities, including drug trafficking and violent confrontations. Kansas City, Missouri's largest city, faces its own set of gang-related challenges. Local gangs, such as the 51st Street Crips and the Swope Parkway Pythons, operate within the city, contributing to the overall gang problem. These groups engage in drug trafficking, violent crimes, and territorial disputes. And there you have it, folks, our countdown of the top 10 USA states grappling with the toughest gang issues. From the bustling streets of New York to the sun-soaked boulevards of California, and all the way to the heartland of Missouri, one thing is clear. The shadowy underworld of gangs casts a long reach across this great nation. These gangs, with their codes and conflicts, impact more than just crime statistics. They challenge our neighborhoods, our schools, and our sense of security. But in the face of adversity, America doesn't back down. Communities are rising up, law enforcement is stepping in, and together, we're fighting back. Through education, outreach, and innovative policing strategies. We're dismantling gangs and giving our youth better choices. So, whether it's the bright lights of Las Vegas or the historic streets of Philadelphia, let's continue to stand strong. Let's support those who protect and serve, and let's empower our neighborhoods to thrive. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay strong. This is Coconut.